As a child, I fell to the seduction of the flame and became a bit of a fire starter. This wasn't with the intention to destroy, but rather a curiosity, an allure to its power and magic. I learned to respect the flame and kept at a semi-safe distance until recently. After reviewing my personal collection and archives, I decided to begin blazing my work. I wanted to give earlier pieces new life, hence the Phoinix Project. The phoenix is a legendary mythological bird creature who rises to greatness over hundreds of years. Then, in a show of flames, internally combusts and dies. From the ashes comes its resurrection and rises to greatness once again. There are slight nuances to the legend throughout millennia. Metaphor for the sun, body recycled, the spirit lives on. I'm not aiming to explore the limits or definition of art as Robert Rauschenberg's erased de Kooning drawing. I'm taking existing work that I feel is either flawed or not yet realized, but at its cusp and giving it a second chance. Unlike John Baldessari's The Cremation Project, a death to all his earlier work through the process of cremation, the Phoinix Project is breathing new life into select chosen pieces. Just as centuries before Baldessari burned his paintings, Michelangelo burned his drawings. And even centuries earlier, Virgil ordered his Aeneid to be burned. Artists may choose to ignite their works for different reasons. I may choose to view this in light of recent news that 7 priceless paintings by Matisse, Picasso, and Monet were stolen from the Kunsthal Rotterdam and are believed to have been burned by the thief's mother. Or even earlier, recalling the 1,000+ art burnings by Nazi art dealer Hildebrand Gurlitt. This is a tragedy, but it happens on the few recorded rare occasions when an artist sets flames to his or her own work. Using existing bodies and individual pieces of work, I am baptizing the materials in flames and illuminating new life. A perfect, fragile body. Fire destroys, fire cleanses, fire makes new. Each piece appears different due to the nature of different photographic processes and how each responds to the flame, the combustion of the phoenix. This is not an act of destruction through consumption of fire, but rather a reconstruction, a recomposition. This is not a death to my work, but rather a rebirth or resurrection. This process is not about obliteration, but instead about metamorphosis. Something new from something old, bringing something into existence from something that had already existed, material-wise. The spirit from the previous piece possesses a new body. This is perseverance and transcendence into life after death. The sign is changed, therefore the signified is changed. However, the spirit lives on in a new, transformed body. Hence, the Phoenix. This can be seen as a dialogue between the artist and his or her creation, but many other dialogues exist. I find the metaphorical, metamorphic process of the work quite beautiful. It can be very cathartic. So why spell Phoenix with an I? The spelling we know today in the West is derived from the Latin, which is borrowed from the Greek, which I have chosen to adopt. As an alternative from exhausting color, as Albers, Warhol, and Rothko, this work explores image and form. This work is achieving change, a new identity. The remains of the photographs have been repurposed into sculptures, drawings, paintings, and other forms of media. In the process, the image has completely transformed. The space it occupies has transformed, its form has transformed, and material composition has chemically transformed, just as the Phoenix. The two-dimensional becomes three-dimensional. Photograph becomes sculpture. The identity of the medium is changed, and so is the subject. It is still about photography, and art about art, art about philosophy, art about life and change, new beginnings, second chances, art about time, about the ephemeral eternal, and the spirit of the Phoenix. These living pieces will continue through their process of metamorphosis by their ephemeral nature. With each vibration, gravitational, purposeful, or accidental movement through time, the composition will change for as long as chance exists, for as long as a phoenix persists.